All right, so this is the condition of my tires. These are 10 years old, due to be changed. There are some cracks starting to form. You can kind of see all those cracks right there. So I am upgrading to BF Goodwrench all-terrain tires. Alright, to give you some sense of how loud it is in this truck, this is with the current tires I have on it. I'm going to just take a recording of me driving here with these tires at around 65 miles an hour, and we'll just let it run for a little bit, get the audio, and then when we have the new tires we'll do the same thing, and then we can compare the two to see how it sounds in the end. Alright, we're going to use the GPS app because once we change the tire size, I won't be able to go by the speedometer. So we're going roughly 64 miles an hour right now. And we'll make sure that the GPS speed shows the same once we have the new tires. Alright, so now we are going 70. So we'll get the audio level at 70 for a little bit. All right, here we are, discount tire. All right, so they did the test fit, and these tires that I want to get were just that much, literally just that much too big. But I didn't want to lose the opportunity to get these tires because I was going to level this anyway, not necessarily lift it. I don't want to really lift my truck, but I do want to level it. So I'm going to put a leveling kit on this anyway, so I went ahead and opted to keep them. Let me show you what they look like. Interesting thing is, as I already showed you, these tires were cracking. Well, they couldn't let me drive away with this bad tire. Discount replaced one of the bad tires for free. So I'll have a brand new spare. I'm on my original tires, the old ones, which you saw were pretty bad. They didn't want to send me home that way. And so they replaced the one that literally was falling apart as they were working on this thing. They replaced that for free. So I've got a brand new tire on one of these wheels, in addition to the 4 new ones, which now we're going to get a lift kit and put those on. Let me show you what we got. So they just put the cheapest thing they could get their hands on, but that's fine. I mean, it's a brand new tire. I mean, you can't complain about that, right? Let's look at the wheels. This is what's going on. Those are aluminum, but they got the old steel look, which is kind of what I wanted to go for. So that's what's going to be going on these things. Before I leveled the front of this truck, I was doing some research, and I could just crank the torsion bars because this does not have, you know, coil springs like some vehicles. It uses torsion bars. I guess this is the first vehicle I ever had that I've actually worked on that's had torsion bars. Maybe it's a 4-wheel drive thing. I don't know. So just word of advice, as I don't know what I'm talking about. So we're getting to learn this together. So don't take anything as what I say as, you know, rule. But I figure I'd look at this and assess the situation before I level it to see what it would look like underneath when I do 2 inches of lift. So there you see, here's our clearance right here. All right, and then we can kind of see the angle. If you look at this here is almost going up a little. You know, it's got almost 80,000 miles on it, so I'm sure the torsion rods have relaxed a little, so it could probably go up a little anyway, just because of age. Let's go ahead and turn the wheel the other way, look on the inside, and then I can get a better view turning it the other way, and we'll get some measurements. Alright, so kind of can see what we got here. Actually, the other way was better, but again, you can see that's pretty much straight right there. It's actually up a little high on this side. Even on flat ground, it doesn't go down at all or straight. It's slightly higher. Again, I think it's because, you know, it's got 178,000 miles on it. So let me go ahead and turn the wheel back the other way once again, and let's get some measurements. This is about 2.5 inches before it hits, well, from the bottom of it, and then from the top it's about just a little, well, roughly an inch. So that's where we're at already. 37 3/4. So if we're going to raise this up 2 inches, 39 3/4. So I'm going to just jack this up. So we're 2 inches higher than we were. So now, let's see how it looks now. We lost about a 1/2 inch. We lost about a little more than a 1/2 inch. And back here, we lost a 1/4 inch. So it's a 1/4 inch less clearance on the back, almost 3/4 inch less on the front. That's interesting. So we lost 3/4 of an inch here, and we've only lost about a 1/4 of an inch back there. I gotta do more research, but I don't think that angle is too drastic at 2 inches. It's not terrible. So if you're thinking about doing this, you know, definitely do your homework, I would say. Don't just watch some YouTuber that says, oh, you can crank and put a key, you know, or all that kind of stuff. Also, just so you know, and I've done a lot of research on this, but you also have the simple physics of it. Putting a key or cranking it isn't going to make a difference. It makes a difference as far as how you can lift it, but it isn't going to make any difference as far as the strain it puts on your suspension. So if cranking these keys will get me the height I need, there's no reason to change the keys. There is a reason to change other things regardless of that decision. So what we're going to try tomorrow is we're going to do this at Jay's, and we're going to analyze it a little more, and we're going to crank the keys, see how much height we can actually get. All right, I'm here at Jay's, and we are going to attempt to see what cranking the torsion rods are going to do. Let's see how much it's going to give us. Measurement of where we're at when it's parked here, well, 37.5 inches, so we want to see how high we can go. Hopefully shooting for 39.5, somewhere close to 39 to 39.5 is what we're shooting for. So let's see what happens.
What do you think of that?
Yeah, that works.
Okay, it's an 18.
Alright, so G has determined it's an 18 millimeter. 5 turns, raised it a 1/2 inch.
Okay. There's 9. There's 10.
39. So
what we start at?
37.5.
So there's an 1.5 inches.
Yep. It's just a little under 39, but for, I mean, pretty.
Just go ahead and do the other 3.
Yeah, let's just go ahead and do the other 3.
All right. There's 13.
All right, let's see where we're at.
Nearly bottomed out.
Almost 39.5 once I got it centered.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. That's 2 inches.
That's what we're after. We'll go do the other side now.
37 3/4.
Okay. And I would expect the other side might go a little more as we get both sides helping lift it.
It's going to raise it a little.
Yeah.
All right.
That's what I expect.
I counted 13 threads, and we did about 13 turns, and that raised it about 2 inches. And I'm sure for a seasoned mechanic, which Jay is, so he showed me how to do it, but I'm not. And it was really easy to count the turns. He just put a line on the actual socket. Some people I saw recommend putting a line on the actual bolt head, which I was thinking, how are you going to see where your line is if you got the line on the bolt head? So it was simple. Where is it?
Wherever the hole is, it's on the same side as the hole.
Right? Yeah. So you may not be able to see it in the camera, but basically he just put a line on it right there, and that's how we knew.
Lined up with the hole.
Yeah, so he lined up with the hole. So that's an easy way to count your turns. But anyway, I counted 13 threads. 13 threads almost took it to all the way up. But we pretty well got 2 inches out of this. I just did some washboard just now, hitting some bumps here at a speed I'd normally drive this road anyway because it's pretty bumpy. It doesn't really feel any different at this point, so that's good. You can see the top of my hood now, whereas before, you know, you really didn't notice the hood so much because it was slanted down. It doesn't feel uncomfortable to drive. It doesn't feel like it's impairing my vision or anything like that. I'm gonna go over some railroad tracks here. See some washboard. It didn't really feel any different. It felt the same. All right, there it is. Wow, that raised it up significantly. Let's just do a visual and see how the alignment looks. So yeah, you can see the camber looks like it is in a little like this. Ever slow slightly at an angle like this. So if you can see that. So there. So I need bigger jacks if I'm gonna work on this truck now that it's gonna have these tires. But I got these on snug. I gotta put it down before I can tighten them the rest of the way. So this is probably gonna have to come off for sure, but that's all right. Eventually I'm changing this whole bumper anyway, so I'll probably just pull this off. But let's see how it looks. Wow, that's looking pretty good so far. But that's definitely gotta go. Right there, that's gotta go. But that's looking pretty good. It's a little tight still. You hit a bump, you're gonna rub. Okay, so now it's turned all the way the other way. Let's see. So yeah, this will need to be cut a little. That's not a big deal. This is just plastic. So we'll cut this out a little. Again, it's just plastic, so yeah, it hits. And that's actually pretty close too. This has just got to come off. We'll just take this off completely. So that'll be the first thing. Just get rid of it. I'll jump harder. Still doesn't look like it would hit it?
No.
Okay. Is it hitting the shiny? Does it look like it's even getting very close to the shiny?
No.
No. All right. Okay, that's it. Thank you.
No problem.
On first assessment, it looks like the only thing that needs to be trimmed is plastic. I will know more once I get it all done, but I can deal with trimming plastic and even a little bit of metal. And again, the front bumper is eventually going to be completely changed, so I'm not worried about that. Even if I have to cut a little on that bumper, I'm not worried about it because it's going to go at some point. But I'm going to take the plastic off the front bumper, and I need to trim some of that plastic towards the back. All finished. Wow, that took me for what feels like ever. So here's what it looks like from the front. And here's what it looks like from the side. So I still got to get it aligned. I still have to trim that front piece of plastic. Also, I noticed this doesn't bulge out as far on this side. There's a line behind that on the other side, so I got to really watch that. I don't think it's a brake line. I don't know what it is. I'll have to take that apart and see. It only rubs if you turn the wheel all the way, which you're going to be driving really slow, but that's pushing out so far on that side because there's a line behind that piece of plastic pushing it out. So that line's gonna have to be moved. Really, the only thing that needs to be done is moving that line and then trimming this. Or like I said, I'll probably just take this off. I haven't decided yet. I mean, it might be pretty hokey looking up front without it for now until I get the different bumper. So it says we're at about 62, but really according to Robin's GPS speedometer, we're about 65. So same microphone as the other day. This is what it sounds like with these tires at 65 miles an hour. We'll let this run a little bit. I'll cut to some of the clip of the other day when we were doing 65 miles an hour with the old tires, and I'll switch back and forth so you can compare. Okay, so right now we're fluctuating between 69 and 70, 71 roughly, we'll just say 70. It's going up and down, it was 69 for a moment. Alright, so this is what it sounds like at 70 miles an hour with these new all-terrain tires. As far as the ride, I think it handles great. I found out my next door neighbor works on stock cars. His kids do stock car racing. He had the whole alignment thing. He looked at my front end. He said, it's fine. There's no reason to replace anything. And he aligned it. It steers great. It's great. I think it handles wonderfully. On the highway, it doesn't feel any different. Other than it feels better because these aren't all worn out tires. It handles great. On dirt roads, it definitely handles really well. Unfortunately, this is Iowa. We went a little riding around last night. I took some pictures. We found a B road that went off into a field, and that was the extent of my off-road action. So I really can't tell you much more about these tires yet, but for the highway, I think they're great. For gravel, they seem to be great. And for a dry field, they're fine. I guess that's my review on these BF Goodwrench KO2 tires. I'm very happy with them so far. And I will fill up here at the end of the video and get our mileage. Add 6% so that we can see what our real miles per gallon is, and see how that impacted things.
Don't sigh. Don't just sigh right away.
On an unrelated note, Robin insisted. So we have another dog.
I'm a very happy person.
Now back to Newton.
Yeah.
All right, time to fill up. We are at 303.5 miles. So just simple math, say 320, because we're going to add 6% to that. So we'll say 321. 321 point.
Come here. Come Come on.
5 miles. Alright, so let's fill this thing up and see what kind of gas mileage we get. Alright, so it took 29.85 gallons. Worst case scenario, say my 6% is off and we didn't actually get 320 miles. Say we only got 303, which I know we got 320, but let's say that. At 29 gallons, we could say 30. We still average 10 miles to the gallon. That means I'm not seeing any worse gas mileage now than what I was getting before. Now, if we're going to take and calculate this based on what the actual miles we got, 303.5 times 1.06, 321 miles and 71 divided by 29.851, 10.77. I did change my fuel pressure regulator, but I checked my mileage after changing that fuel pressure regulator and I didn't notice any significant difference. This is actually on the better side of things. It's been a while since I've seen 10 miles to the gallon, even without a load on this truck. So it's saying we got 10.77. So if we just say, let's round everything being equal, just basically you could say that even though I lifted this vehicle 2 inches in the front, put bigger tires on it, I did go with aluminum wheels, which helped offset some of that weight, I am not getting any worse gas mileage than I was getting before. So, that's as good as I'm going to say. I'm not going to say I'm getting better gas mileage. I'm just saying, because I don't have that accurate numbers, but 10.77 is pretty good numbers compared to what I've been seeing lately in this vehicle. So, yeah, it didn't hurt me one bit. Not that I can perceive. Didn't hurt me sound-wise, didn't hurt me gas mileage-wise, didn't hurt me handling-wise, as far as changing to these tires and everything that I did. So I'm very pleased. These are things that I was worried about. I was worried about it feeling really sloppy. I was worried. I didn't know what to expect after putting bigger tires on this truck. I didn't know if I'd hate it or not, but this was a great change. I'm very, very pleased with the outcome of this upgrade. All right, now I am finished with the review and the upgrade video regarding my tires and wheels.